so much. They say that you can't teach comedy and that it's impossible. And well, I'm Chuck Roy, and those are the people who say you really have to stop teaching comedy. I teach comedy at the Community College of Denver, and today I'm going to reveal the secret of how I teach the impossible. Hopefully, you'll discover how I teach impossible students, and you'll learn a little bit about how I evaluate the results to prove that I can teach something so complex as comedy. Now, I have had at least one student fail the class, but I've never had a student fail to create laughter. And the secret to teaching comedy is, and teaching just about anything that's impossible, is something that's called Bloom's Taxonomy. I'm a Bloom's nerd. In 1965, an academic acrobat named Benjamin Bloom invented a taxonomy. It's levels of instruction. It starts with knowledge, and then understanding, application, analysis, and innovation. Bloom's taxonomy is essentially a series of categories and keywords to help you build a lesson plan. So when there's something I want to teach in comedy, I go to Bloom's and try to figure out how can I create a lesson plan to get this important idea across to students. And then to measure results, I create something called a rubric, also known as a rubric's cube. Rubrics help me measure the results and determine if I've taught knowledge and comprehension of a complex subject. And I teach this subject, and somebody mentioned this to me, that I also teach this subject to what might be considered impossible students. We're lucky to teach at a downtown community college. Our student base is diverse, and our students value their education, but some of our students come to us with challenges. And so I use something called universal design. That helps me reach students with a variety of learning challenges and learning abilities. I'm also certified in accessibility, and this is something I really appreciate. Here in this slide, I've used a photo and large print. The photo is for visual learners, people who learn by observing things. They can tell that I'm talking about accessibility. If you like to learn by reading, I've used a large font and big print, so one subject, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll use video. This hopefully will be posted on the YouTube, and in there we'll include closed captions so that people who have hearing disabilities or English as a second language learners can read the closed captions and understand what I'm saying. And there are cultural differences, and universal design helps me appreciate and teach to those cultural differences. One semester I had a construction worker, a Trump supporter, an adorable little twink from the foster care system, and a downtown poet, all in the same class. Our class photo looked like an off-Broadway production of The Village People. And we got folks from all different backgrounds to work together, communicate, understand each other's cultural differences, and create funny, original comedy. And to do that, I try to find out, how do I know if I'm succeeding? And the key there is to measure the results. I'll ask questions in my evaluation, like, did Bloom's taxonomy work? Did my lesson plan work out? And I'll ask, did the students actually perform comedy? That's really important. Did the audience laugh? Why, that was our goal, so we want to know, did they laugh? And in the end, do the students understand what it takes to create something like comedy? And in your world, you can ask, did the students understand what it is to understand this impossible subject that you might be teaching? And to summarize and conclude, as Prince once said, bloom your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind and teach effectively. Okay, sometimes I really make up the quotes. When they tell you something is impossible, just measure the results and teach the impossible. Start by teaching comedy, and people will believe you. And so thank you very much for coming here today, and I appreciate you listening to that fantastic presentation.